So in the New Testament, we see the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But do you see them in the Old Testament, or was it just something added in the New Testament? Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to skim over this really quick, but everything I bring up, I suggest that you go read it yourself and in context and actually grasp it. Don't read right through it, but take your time. But I'm just going to go real quick through it just to pick up the main parts. And we're going to start with the first one with Abraham. And in chapter 18 of Genesis, you see that the Lord appeared to him. And on a side note, I'm going to give you a quick little reference. So every time you see the word Lord in all capital letters, that's Yahweh. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to replace that with Yahweh as I go through the scriptures. So that first verse says Yahweh appeared to him. So then it says when Abraham lifted his eyes, when he saw Yahweh, he saw three men. He greeted them and he was talking to them and they promised him a son. It says that he'll bear a son in his old age. So just the next chapter over, you read that two angels went to Sodom and Gomorrah. So now I'm going to jump to another verse in 19. It's going to be in verse 24, talking about when they were going to destroy it, and then it's being destroyed at this verse, and it says, Then Yahweh rained on Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from Yahweh out of heaven. So we see that Yahweh rained fire out of Yahweh from heaven. Like, we already see like a plurality already. So now let me jump to a prophet, Amos, and 4:11, and he's speaking on behalf of God, and he says, I overthrew you as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and you were like a firebrand snatched from a blaze, yet you have not returned to me, declares the Lord. So we see that it says, I overthrew you as God overthrew Sodom. So then at the very last of that verse, it says, declares the Lord. So God is saying, I overthrew you as God overthrew. So we see that multiple plurality of God again. And we see that the angel of Yahweh is Jesus. And just real quick, we see the Holy Spirit doing the same thing in the Old Testament as he does in the New Testament. He always comes upon people and speaks through people. But we'll get to that in a second. So to continue in Abraham's time, we see that Hagar had left and that Ishmael was crying. So in 21:17, it says, God heard the lad crying, and the angel of God who called to Hagar from heaven said to her, What is the matter with you, Hagar? Do not fear, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. So now we're going to jump to verse 18, and we're going to see the main part of this area. And he says, Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him by the hand, for I will make him a great nation. We see that God heard Hagar crying, and the angel spoke to her. And then after that, the angel said, I will make him a great nation. Who has authority to say that? Well, God does only. And then in verse 20, it says that God was with the lad. It said God was with him. So the angel of Yahweh says, I will make him a great nation. But God was with him. And so we see that Jesus and God are working together in that passage. So now for the next one.